Picture waking up to rain tapping your window and through the glass, seeing not leaves or knots but a row of tiny glinting teeth embedded in the bark of the tree outside, pearl-white crescents catching the light like a secret smile. At first you'd rub your eyes, blame sleep, blame the odd reflection of headlights. Then you'd peer closer and realize they're real. Enamel ridges sprouting from rough wood, some small as a baby's, others larger and blunt like the molars of something that chews slowly and patiently. The ordinary suburban tree in your yard has become an uncanny mouth, a slow arboreal grin that seems to watch you back. How would your brain stitch together the ordinary habit of morning coffee with the extraordinary knowledge that the trees have decided, quite literally, to show their teeth? The immediate feeling would be a cocktail of fascination and old mythic fear. Childhood tales of trees that talk or take, the kind of folklore that sits in the marrow of our species. You'd run the obvious explanations first. A prank art installation, some botanical fungus sculpting calcified nodules. But imagine those explanations unravel as scientists arrive and find enamel-like tissue, dentin-like structures, true dental anatomy awkwardly integrated into xylem and phloem. Dentists would trade their chairs for microscopes. Botanists would argue with anatomists. And somewhere between labs and laboratories the question would bloom. How did something designed by evolution to grow roots, rings, and leaves also begin growing teeth? Speculative biology would have a field day. Perhaps a virus jumped clades and rewired meristem cells, coaxing cambium to lay down mineralized layers like a mammalian jaw. Maybe it's a form of convergent evolution. Trees under new environmental pressures, developing hard structures to defend against novel herbivores or to process nutrients in a changing soil chemistry. Or maybe it's not evolution at all but a symbiosis. Tiny crustacean-like organisms are collaborating with trees, building calcium structures in exchange for sugar, and what we see as teeth are architectural exoskeletons. Each theory would sound stranger than the next, and each would be tested with obsessively poetic urgency. CT scans of oak molars, chemical assays of enamel, watching seedlings for the first twitch of a tooth bud. The social ripple would be cinematic. Children would sleep with flashlights, daring each other to touch the nearest birch's canines. Poets and advertisers would fight for metaphors. Some people would decorate tree mouths with floss-like tree ornaments. Others would petition to protect them as sacred hybrids. Urban planners would debate the ethics of pruning a tree that has grown a row of incisors. Is that mutilation or maintenance? Restaurants might advertise locally gnawed produce, and conspiracy forums would proliferate with claims that the government had engineered arboreal weapons. Religious leaders would find new parables. The tree that bore teeth instead of fruit, a moral lesson about hunger or power. Personal lives would recompose in subtle, unnerving ways. A tree outside your window that can bite, or at least looks like it could, changes how you move through your neighborhood. You'd notice the way your cat avoids a certain trunk, or how lovers now choose park benches under non-dentate elms. Outdoor picnics would gain an uncanny intimacy. A hammock beneath a molar tree becomes both romantic and slightly menacing. People learning to live with tree teeth might invent rituals, leaving small offerings so the trees won't chew through anything dear, or conversely, wearing gloves and carrying pocket mirrors to check whether the teeth are open or closed. Emotional reactions would run the gamut from awe. Some would say it's a miracle, a reminder that nature is always stranger than fiction, to disgust and revulsion, an instinctive recoil at seeing human-like parts in non-human forms. On a global scale, imagine forests slowly turning into landscapes of grins. Amazon canines, Siberian molars, each biome evolving a different dental character. Agricultural science would be rocked. Root systems interacting with tooth structures might influence water uptake, or bark teeth might trap pests or foster new forms of decay. Timber industries would face ethical dilemmas. Logging a tooth-bearing tree might require permits akin to surgery, and wood craftspeople would pay premiums for dentalized lumber. There could be economic boons, dentate trees marketed as curiosities, and ecological hazards if teeth change how trees interact with animals, altering migration or pollination patterns. Predators might adapt. Rodents might learn to gnaw at the roots protecting a tree's tooth bed. Birds might nest in the cavities between canines. Whole food webs could pivot around this new plant feature, and with each pivot the planet would adjust in small, irreversible ways. Culturally, the image of teeth in trees would seep into our mythic and literal languages. Think of lullabies rewritten, "Sleep, little one, the oak will keep its teeth," or court rulings citing the teeth of the forest when deciding property lines. The phenomenon would produce art movements, sculptors incorporating dental motifs into installations, filmmakers staging slow-motion scenes of branches opening like mouths. And beneath all the spectacle, there would be quieter philosophical unease, the moment the boundary between us and them blurs. Teeth are intimate. They tell stories of diet, disease, age. When trees wear them, we're forced to ask what makes something animate, what counts as an organism's face, and whether the line between plant and animal is thinner than we ever imagined. So imagine late at night pressing your palm to the cool glass and watching a row of tiny perfect teeth glisten in the rain. Does the sight feel like an invitation, a new partnership with the wildness outside your window, or like a reminder that nature is always inventing in ways that will unsettle you, enchant you, and ultimately change how you understand the world?